What's bacon fam? It's your boy Shank Muffin here, and welcome to my in-depth Cerberus guide. For all those who have seen my guides before, this is the section for the table of contents. Skip to the section that you wish to watch. Let's get into this guide. Cerberus is a level 318 Hellhound doggo that attacks with all three attack styles. His melee attack is him dipping down his head and biting at you. His ranged attack is a spiked gray ball, flying into you from the ceiling. Finally, his mage attack is a smooth gray ball, which also flies in from the ceiling. Cerberus also has two special attacks. The first one is where he summons ghosts to drain your prayer, or hit points. His second special attack is where he spawns lava pools on the floor. Cerberus also has four notable drops, and these are the Pegasian Crystal, Primordial Crystal, Smoldering Stone, and Eternal Crystal. The drop rate for all of these are 1 out of 128. If you're going after a specific item of the four that I mentioned, then the drop rate is 1 out of 512. He also has two other rare drops, and the first one being the Jar of Souls, which is used in the player-owned house to display a miniature layer of where Cerberus resides. That drop rate is 1 out of 2000. And lastly, if you're going after Petscape, Cerberus has a pet which is just a miniature version of himself, and the drop rate is 1 out of 3000. I'll go over the mechanics later for this boss, but in the meantime, let's move into the requirements. The only requirement that you have to kill Cerberus is to have 91 Slayer. You must also have a Hellhound's task active in order to fight him. There is no other requirement in order for you to face this boss. Let's move on to the recommendations. For my recommendations, I'd say the biggest one to have is 70 agility. Having this agility level will greatly reduce the amount of time for traveling when fighting this boss. This gives you access to the pipeline shortcut in Taverley Dungeon. If you have 75 agility though, you can access a even quicker shortcut through the use of the Summer Pie. With this level of agility, you can jump over the spiked floor trap that is also located in Taverley Dungeon. For your combat stats, I have a few recommendations. 70 plus prayer is amazing to have since you gain access to piety. Having this unlocked helps you speed up your kills as well as provide more defense. This also is great to help you with dealing with Cerberus's ghosts. More on that later though. The next recommendation that I have is 85 plus attack, strength, and defense. Next up is having an ornate rejuvenation pool. This allows for you to reclaim all of your special attack, fully heals you, and restores all prayer points. This is excellent to have no matter what PvM content you are doing. Also, since we're talking about things located in the player-owned house, having a teleport to Falador is useful. It makes it much easier to get back to the bank in order to continue your Cerberus kills. Let's now move on to the gear setup. For your helm slot, go with a Slayer helm. For your necklace slot, go with an Amulet of Torture, Amulet of Fury, Amulet of Glory, or Amulet of Strength. For your cape, go with an Infernal Cape if you somehow have that, a Fire Cape, RD Cloak 4, or RD Cloak 3. For your torso slot, go with a Bando's Chestplate, Torag's Plate Body, or a Fighter's Torso. For your leg slot, go with Bando's Tassets, Torag's Plate Legs, Obsidian Plate Legs, or Dragon Plate Legs. If you're using a Spectral Spirit Shield in the entirety of the fight, go with a Zamorakian Hasta. If you don't have this, then just go with a Whip. For those that are not using a Spectral for the entire fight, go with a Scythe of Virtue, Abyssal Bludgeon, Grazi Rapier, a Zamorakian Hasta, or an Abyssal Whip. For your shield slot, go with an Avernic Defender, Dragon Defender, Spectral Spirit Shield, or Dragonfire Shield. For your ammo slot, go with any God Blessing for the extra prayer bonus. For your gloves, go with Barrow's Gloves, Dragon Gloves, Rune Gloves, or a Combat Bracelet. For your boots, go with Primordial Boots, Dragon Boots, Rune Boots, or Bando's Boots. For your ring slot, go with the following rings. Keep in mind, they are all imbued. A Berserker Ring, a Ring of Suffering, Ring of the Gods, or Ring of Wealth. Finally, for your spec weapon, go with Dragon Claws, Dragon Warhammer, Saradomin Godsword, or Crystal Halberd. Now that we have gear out of the way, let's get into inventory. For my inventory, I bring a Dragon Warhammer as my spec weapon. Because of me being 99 attack, strength, and defense, I do not bring the Dragon Defender, as I hit fairly often with the Super Combat Pot up with the Dragon spec. I bring 1 Super Combat Potion, 4 Ceridome and Brews, and 11 Super Restores. You guys can fiddle around as to how many you'd like to bring of each of these potions, but for me, I roughly get about 6 kills per trip, sometimes even up to 8 with this inventory setup. So it really depends on how you want to mix and match. I also bring a teleport tab back to my house, and the rest of the inventory, which would be to 10 inventory spaces left, would be for sharks. Teleport to Fallador and run west. Run south as you pass the bank, and eventually you will find a wall you can climb over. Run northwest, and eventually you will see a ladder that leads to Taverley Dungeon. As you enter the dungeon, if you have 70 agility, take the pipe that is to your right as you enter. Run south as you loop around, continue to run north until you come across a cave entrance. Once you're inside this cave entrance, take a pick as to which layer you'd like to fight Cerberus in. If you have 75 agility with a summer pie, as you enter the dungeon, run north, and on the west side you will see a spike trap. Jump over it and run north, and eventually you'll come across a cave entrance. Go inside and pick a layer of which you'd like to fight Cerberus in. If you do not have any of these agility levels, claim a dusty key and traverse the entirety of Taverley Dungeon until you come across the Hellhound section with a cave entrance. Enter it and pick a layer to fight Cerberus. As you enter his lair, pot up. Drink a Cerberus, then a Restore, and finally your Super Combat Potion. Have your quick prayer set to Mage and Piety. Equip your spec weapon and activate the spec bar. As soon as you pass the flames, Cerberus will begin his attacks. Each time, he's going to attack with all 3 combat styles at the beginning of the fight, so you can pray accordingly if you want to. But you're going to spec out the boss here and switch to your primary attack weapon. You're going to keep attacking Cerberus. If you like to walk him, and what I mean by walking is attack twice and walk underneath him, then go for it. You can also prey switch his attacks if you want to, but for me personally, I just tank his attacks. At 400 HP, Cerberus has the ability to activate one of his special abilities. This is his Aru attack. Cerberus will not attack you, but he will summon 3 ghosts, representing the 3 attack styles in RuneScape. All you have to do is prey switch accordingly. If done correctly, they will drain only 30 prayer each time they successfully strike you. If you don't pray correctly, or don't have prayer, they will deal 30 damage to your hit points. The best amount of prayer to sit at is around 67 prayer points when his attack goes out. If you have the Spectral Spirit Shield, equip it, as for only drain 15 prayer points from the ghosts. As stated before, each ghost represents each combat style. Red ghost is melee, green ghost is range, and blue ghost is mage. When facing these, timing is everything, so as soon as the ghosts start moving, pray accordingly. They start from left to right as you're facing north with your camera. As each ghost launches, switch to the next prayer overhead to be prepared for the next ghost in line. It will take a few tries, but you'll get it. Patience is key. When Cerberus gets down to 200 HP, he will say grrr, which means he summons lava pools. Stand 1 square away on all sides of the pool, and you won't take any damage. Very simple to avoid. Only thing to watch out for is Cerberus likes to combo the Aru and Gur attack together, so always keep moving. That's it guys, that's Cerberus. It's pretty simple. For your benefit, I'm going to be showing you the full fight in order to understand on how the entire fight is played out. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. You found this video really helpful, and feel free to add me in game and join my Discord server. Anyways guys, my name's Shankamuffin. I'm signing out. Please enjoy this outro.